If you use Microsoft SharePoint, you'll love how easy it is now to use with Excel. The integration between SharePoint and all the Office 2010 applications is almost seamless. Now, if you still have the workbook open from the previous movie, you can leave it open, or if you have access to the exercise files, you can go into the Chapter 2 folder and open up this 0204 SharePoint.xlsx. So let's go into Backstage View. Click the File tab here, and go down here to Save and Send, and then go over here, Save to SharePoint. If you have your SharePoint portal already configured, it's going to be up here. So all we have to do now is Save As. Now you see when I go to Save As, it's going into this inventory folder. Let me go back to the browser for a second. Here in our portal in our Two Trees Olive Oil Company, I've already created a document store called Inventory. So I'm going to click that. So you see this is empty. So this is what we're looking at here in Excel. So I'm going to keep the same name. I'll click Save. And there it is. It saves it, and it brings us back into the web browser with the file open. So you can see here, you can select cells, you can scroll, you can look at things, but there's no editing that you can do. Not yet, anyway. I'm going to go back into Excel, and I'm going to close the file. Just press Control F4. Now let me come back into the browser. So let's say I come in here one day and I want to do some editing. Again, keep in mind, in real life, you wouldn't be switching back and forth like this. I'm going to click Open in Excel. And it gives me a warning. I'm going to choose Edit, click OK. And it brings me back, but notice it gives me this yellow warning, just in case there's some nefarious code on there, but I know what this is, so I'll click Enable Editing. And now I'm right back in Excel. And let me make some changes here. Now we can see what's going on. Maybe I'll take this and I'll make it bold. And you know what? While we're at it, let's go and put in a sum. Okay, and I'll just type the word total. So now we see we have some changes. Let me scroll back up. Now I'm going to save this. I'm going to close it. Let's go back into the SharePoint portal. And now you see nothing has happened here yet. I'm going to go to the File menu, Reload Workbook, choose Yes to confirm, and there it is. And there's our total, and there's the new numbers that we typed in. So this is all working very well. Let's go back to the Inventory folder. So I'll just click that Inventory folder. And now here we see the file is there as we saved it, and you notice this little new marker, so that's how you know the thing is new. When you roll over it, if you click it, that's another way to open it up. Let's go back here to the Inventory folder. I want to show you a couple of things. When you roll over, you notice this little checkbox, and if you check that, now all of a sudden you have this whole ribbon full of options. Now this is not complete SharePoint training, but just want to show you a couple of things. If I wanted to delete the document, I could do it there. I'm not ready to do that just yet. One really nice feature that SharePoint and Excel share now is that Excel recognizes SharePoint's check-in and check-out feature. And what that's all about is, if I'm going to edit this file, I want to make sure that no one else is editing it simultaneously, because then there's a conflict of which is the right version. So when I have this selected, I'm going to click Checkout. You see there's this little icon there. When checking it out, it doesn't mean that I've actually opened the document or retrieved the document. It simply means it's locked so that nobody else can edit it while I'm editing it. So I'm going to go back to Excel. I'm going to reopen it. This time I'm going to go back to the File tab, and in my recent file list, there is the file, and you can see the path there is the portal. So I'm going to open it up, and this time maybe I'll make all these items bold. And so it's just an obvious difference. I have to close this in order to edit it back in SharePoint. So I'm going to save it. Now when I close it, notice the message. It tells me that I need to check it in order for someone else to be able to check it out. So I'm going to choose yes, that I'm checking it in. And I could enter some comments like changed some formatting and click OK. I'll go back to the portal, and I'm going to refresh. Just hit the F5 to refresh. And now you notice that the checkout symbol is no longer there, so someone else can come in and edit the file. If you want to learn more about SharePoint in depth, take a look at SharePoint Essential Training here on lynda.com.